Hello, everyone. It's Kim from K&RP here in southeastern Manitoba. It's a beautiful, sunshiny day, minus 23 Celsius, but feels like minus 30 with the wind chill. It's not as bad as it's been all week. We went out minus 36 the other day to do some grocery shopping because, we're Manitobans and we do that sort of thing. So that means it is minus 10 Fahrenheit, but feels like minus 22. Look who's here to play today. Hi, Jean.
Hello.
So we're carrying on with our junk embroideries. I've stitched everything down, and now I'm just doing some embellishing. And I want to build up some beads and things like Jean has on her gorgeous little piece. Hey, Susan, nice to see you, hun. Nice to see you.
Hi, Susan. I'm actually pretty close to done. I played with mine for a little bit, and actually not very long. I think y'all seen it last. This little bit right here is all that I've added. But I did realize that I can take this loop off because I already glued all my edges down in the back before I ever started. So I can take this off to stitch around it and don't have to fight the inside. I just noticed it because I had drawn a line so I'd know where to stop beading. And I can see that line. So we're going to see if we can erase it. But I realized, like I said, that I could take the outer hoop off. Hi, Belinda.
Hi, Belinda.
And that's when I had this, and it was about like in that position with the thing. And when I put it back in, I turned it like this, and I was able to leave some of the painted stuff here. So I'm going to try to erase right now and see if that helps. I just got some paper out and was cleaning up my eraser so I didn't leave smudges. And it's helping. I don't know if this is going to bother me or not.
Hey, Monica. Nice to see you, hun. Susan, I have a 5-row strip of one color on my blanket because it's been so stinking cold this past week. Minus 30s. 5 rows of minus 30s. Baka. That's all I can say. Is it working, Jean?
It's okay. It's not quite perfect. So you know what I think I'm going to do?
Not until you tell us.
Oh, God, you're full of it today, aren't you?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to add a little bit of paint.
Just a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit of more. I don't know that I'm going to match the colors or if I'm going to screw it up. But you know what? Even if I do screw it up, I can cover it with more beads.
You can. Hey, Marguerite, nice to see you, hon. What's it like out there in their British Columbia place? I know that the island was getting some snow. What about you guys? Oh, Kim, you are just not liking this. Okay. Gotta find my beeswax. Or something. Oh, yeah, that too. Happy Valentine's Day. And hi, hun. Linda. Hey, Dana. Welcome, hun. Haven't seen you for a while. I know it's nice and warm where you are. I'm fighting this thing here. Whose idea was this to do these French knots out of just regular sewing thread? Whose idea?
Wasn't mine.
I know. I am looking for my wax. Maybe I hope everybody's having a lovely day. I'm having a lovely day. Ron's working on a marble run. So he's been in and out and showing strange wired, soldered things for the marbles to roll on. And yeah.
Now, are we going to get a video when this is done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly, Monica. Hey, Carol, nice to see you. Your excitement today was buying 22 of the plastic drawer things the size of a shoebox by a container store. Nice. Nice.
Well, you know what? You could have just
Hey,
come to my house. I have 22 boxes that are empty and then some.
Hi, Doritha. Nice to see you. So we're playing junk embroidery again this week. And Jean is making a beautiful piece there with all her beads and all her little fixins that she did. So she had it stretched in an embroidery hoop and then she's pulled it off because she wanted to erase pencil marks. So I am doing this. So it's more abstracty and I'm trying to do French knots with just plain white sewing thread, and it is making a freaking mess. And freaking is not the word I want to use, but I'm being here in polite society. So, there we have it. That's what we're up to today. Thanks, Monica. How are you guys? I haven't seen some of you for a while. Doretha, Marguerite. Hope you guys have been keeping well. Polite society. Yeah, I can be polite in society. Behind scenes. She's laughing at me. Why are you laughing?
Oh, I just got really tickled there for a minute.
Yeah, like tell another one while your mouth's still warm kind of thing. I know. I get it. I know me. Yeah. So anyway, we're doing junk embroidery. So I'm trying to do some sort of abstract with a whole bunch of junk and a little bit of bling and art pieces too. But I'm having some fun with this. Because you got to have fun. Because if you're not having fun, why are you doing it? Right?
Exactly.
Especially when it comes to your artwork and play. Once it starts becoming a job, then you're not going to enjoy it as much. You gave me the big finger. Woohoo! Thank you.
That just makes my day. Around my house, that's terms of endearment.
Mine too. Mine too.
You know, it's nothing to be sitting around smarting off with my dad and he pushes his glasses up with just a certain finger.
Yeah. Yeah, we do that.
And definitely. I'm like, oh, he does still love me.
He's just saying you're number one. Right? I'm number one. I'm number one. Yeah. Okay. I was going to wax this. Oh, good memory, really short. This is what happens when you clean your room. You can't find anything. I think it might be over here. We'll look, and if it's not, I'll grab a crayon.
Okay, I think I'm happy with that.
Yay!
The line's still there, but I think it's okay. I think we'll know more when it dries. So what I'm at to now.
Your mailman's here.
I am going to cover my hoop with black embroidery floss. And I think that I might use a little bit of glue to kind of I don't know, keep my fingers from having to hold everything in place. I don't know. Might work, might not. We'll see. And if you notice, I took this off and I'm going to put it back on because I probably will lose it if I don't. Thank you, Carol.
Jean makes all kinds of wonderful little elements. We should have a Jean show and tell elements day. Because seriously, all her her paper beads and fabric beads and all that stuff, my word. You know, we would all be drilling on our keyboards and shorting out. I tell you, seriously.
You know, I have this habit of seeing something and think, okay, I like it. Can I do it? I do it. It's done. I'm done.
Yeah, I know.
And so it's,
Did you see what Belinda said?
no. Yeah, I know. Right, Belinda? It actually took me taking this from this position to this position to allow that because it just looks okay that way.
Exactly, Carol. Sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. I don't know if I'll be able to get out of the room now. My head has gotten so big.
You know, I just hang around with her because she makes me look good, kind of. Or what not to do when Jean's doing something. Maybe that's better. We know. It's okay.
Maybe we'll use glue. Ow. Oh, dang it. It hurts when you poke yourself.
Uh-huh. Well, for the love of Mike.
I love these fine tips when they work. Okay, I just figured out the worst thing about moving my sewing room to the other room is that I can't just walk over there and get a straight pin.
Oh. Yeah, that's annoying. Elemental Jean Day. Ooh. Jean, can we do that?
Yeah. Come on, glue. The hole is open. What is your problem?
Okay. Do you have paper on you? So
no, but I have it beside me. I see what its problem is.
You guys have a good week? I had a wonderful week. I've been playing with the watercolor doodles. We went grocery shopping, like I say, in minus 36 or some asinine thing like that. Pardon the language. Oh, I'm bad today. What else have I been up to?
I should have shared that. Doggone it, y'all missed it. I reached in here to get my chunk of glue that was in there out, and with my tweezers, and it squeezed, just looked like a little pimple. You might have enjoyed that.
There are actually pimple popping channels on YouTube. Did you guys know that? One popped up in my feed the other day, and I went, "What the Sam David Henry is this? And who wants to watch it?" Obvious people do, but whatever. Okay, I waxed the thread.
Oh,
periodic table of gene elements. Oh yeah.
now you guys are gonna get me.
We're gonna come up with so many ideas that you're just gonna be confused all weekend, honey.
Yeah, maybe we should do a challenge where everybody just comes up with an element for me to make.
Yeah.
I think maybe my glue's just too thick for this bottle.
Maybe. Ow. And then you stick it under your nail, through the fabric. Your mom always told you to watch that show? Oh, my word.
I have watched it. It doesn't bother me.
Oh, it wouldn't bother me either. I'm just wondering
But it's not
why.
something I'm going to watch all the time. All right, I'm done. We're not going to use this glue. I don't have all day.
It popped up in your. Is that a pun, honey? Linda, my love, is that a pun? Oh, it did it again. Okay, Kim's not doing any more French knots. We're not playing this because now I have to figure something else that I can do. Maybe I'm going to cut all those white ones off because it's stupid. Yeah, I'm cutting off all those little white French knots because I can't do anymore. They're just being silly. And I waxed the thread and everything, guys. I did. It's okay because this is an experiment. It's a prototype. And if I want to hack things up and put things on and take them off, I'm going to do it.
What the heck is wrong with me and glue today?
What is that? What did I click on now? Go away. Sorry, you don't want to know how I really feel about those knots. And you know me well enough. Don't put me there. So, I made black beans in the Instant Pot this morning because I needed some black beans for a recipe I'm making at the end of the month. But I figured I had the time and might as well do it. So we go to this restaurant in Winnipeg called Big Guys, and it's a Tex-Mex restaurant. And I know that's probably not political correct, but that's the way it's labeled, you know. Anyway, they have this black rice with a Cajun kind of flavor. It has 1 or 2 peas in the entire serving, maybe a small square carrot. So it's a dark rice with quite a bit of flavor. I just love it. So I've been trying to replicate it. I've been trying dirty rice recipes and stuff. Nothing's really coming up close to it. And then one of the recipes said to get the rice black, use the water from black beans. So I did that. I made some rice for lunch and I cooked it up in the black bean water. I used some onion and garlic and Cajun seasoning and a bit of beef bouillon. And it was really good. Not the same as I'm looking for, but it's edible.
I'm going to interrupt you.
Thanks.
We have glue.
Woohoo!
Okay. Go ahead. Speak again.
Woof. So anyway, I did this. Have you guys ever used your bean water for cooking rice or anything in? I didn't know that was a thing that people actually did. I always just turf it down the sink. But, because I saw that, I thought, oh, I'm going to try it. It's not bad. Not bad at all. And I'm thinking because beans have a bit of protein in them that it's probably I could get away with a meatless meal if I cook the rice in bean water. Back to the beans. Yeah. So anyway, does anybody know how to make rice black other than buying black rice? Because I don't think I've ever seen black rice in my grocery stores here. I would have to go to a specialized store, and I have no clue where I would even find that in Winnipeg. Is Sherry here? Sherry or Barbara? No? Use black bean water to dye fabric and paper. Oh, paper. I could have done that. Well, there you go. I'm going to be doing kidney beans next. I like having these ready so that I can just pull them out of the freezer and throw them in my pots of chili or whatever. Monica, are you cringing, hon? I bet you are. Yeah. So, that's not going to work. We'll put French knots with embroidery floss around the rest of these because that was the plan to begin with. There's black mulled rice. Yes. I was just rambling on about making black beans and kidney beans to throw in my chili, and I said that you're probably cringing because I know that real chili doesn't have beans in it, right?
Nope, real chili does have beans. This
It
could be an
does.
argument.
I know it's an argument. I've always put beans in my chili because that's the way my mom made it, right? But I look at all these chili cook-offs and they don't put beans in it. I'm going, well, where's the bulk?
If it, in my opinion, and I live in Texas, or well, I don't live in Texas. I'm only 4 miles from it, but I do kind of, and I did. If you don't put beans in it, then it's just
Spaghetti sauce with a different flavor.
or hamburger gravy, hamburger and red gravy. I mean,
Yeah.
I get it. I do understand, but I'm a bean girl.
I like beans too. No, I use just the water. And I found recipes for adding black beans to rice instead of the red beans and rice. But anyway, I did that. And I know that the way I cook, people who cook ethnically probably cringe at absolutely every single dish I make because I cook by feel.
Well, I like my beans. In fact, when I make chili, um, I like to put. Okay, there's just something about having hamburger and chili, but when I make it, I put in chili beans mostly because I like those flavors. I
Hey,
put in
Maria. Hi, hon.
kidney beans and I put in um, black beans, and then I usually kind of schedule my chili after we've had uh, Gary has smoked a pork butt or a brisket. So I put just a little bit of hamburger in there, and then I'll put pork or brisket in it. Sometimes I put both because we have them in the freezer. And yeah, I like it. I like chili.
Hey,
Chili's one of my
Colleen.
favorite soups.
Nice to see you. Yeah, no, I use black beans and kidney beans in my chili, and quite often stewing beef if I've got it. Otherwise, it is burger.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, but I mean, okay, I live in Canada. My mother was British, so I kind of follow her chili recipe. So it was probably out of some cookbook way back when my dad would never eat the such. So, oh yeah, venison in chili is excellent.
Hmm.
I mean, that's the way my daughter and her partner make it. Stew meat makes it nice, yeah. So, like I say, any ethnic cooking I learned from a British woman who didn't know how to cook. Seriously, real guys. She could bake like wow, but cooking, not so much. But then, too, right? Being in England, growing up during the war, you don't have lots of various things as well. So, anyway, she did the best she could with the knowledge she had, and yeah, definitely different. Bad British cooks, I betcha. See, it's not that she was a bad British cook, but my dad was a picky eater because being in the war, he didn't want anything with gravies or sauce on it because he wanted to see what the heck he was eating. Because they would cover everything in a sauce or a gravy because they were covering up whatever, right? So he liked things naked, meat, potatoes, and he would roll his vegetables around on his plate.
Now, see, my dad, from being in the service, doesn't like peas.
Yeah.
He'll eat them, but and he goes to the senior center for lunch every day.
Okay.
And peas is their number one served vegetable.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't just the green meat though, Susan. They would be um, using sawdust to stretch some things, right? That's why now when we've got all those, what the heck's it called? It's not the silica stuff, cellulose in our packaging, like in the shredded cheeses and that kind of thing. That's actually a wood base stuff, right? Hey, Marty, nice to see you, hon. So yeah. Anyway, he wouldn't eat anything with that. No how, no way. We talk about food, Marty. You got here just in time because I'm looking for a recipe for cooking. They must use black rice, Anne. They really must use black rice.
Well, after you asked me that this morning, I looked up, and most of the dirty rice recipes I seen were like from Louisiana.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, I don't even know if it's called dirty rice. They just asked if I want rice with my meal or fries, and I love that rice. Purple rice I have not had. We've eaten a lot of wild rice here. Takes a long time to cook, but oh, what a lovely flavor.
Talking about cooking, and everybody's talking dad and whatever. Um, I love the story about the first time my mom made stuffing.
Oh,
Now, we're not from the South originally, so stuffing is where you use bread,
yeah,
not not cornbread. I'm not
yeah.
a big fan of cornbread stuffing, but regardless, so my mom made it. And Dad was real excited, and he reaches in to get it and pulls out the whole bowl instead of just a spoonful.
Sorry, I missed that. My pump was going. Your dad what?
He reached his spoon in to get him a spoonful, and the whole bowl came out.
Oh no, that was thick, thick stuffing.
But after that, Mom got her dressing recipe figured out, and she made good dressing.
I love dressing. I couldn't live on dressing.
She
Most the meal.
helped me make it one time, and I've never made it since. Stovetop's too easy.
Yeah. Oh, Marguerite says what? The ball was in the bird?
No, um, for just her and Dad, she probably didn't stuff the bird. My mom never did stuff the bird. She always made her dressing in a separate dish. I don't know why.
Well, I make it in a separate dish because I've got 12 people and my daughter cooks the turkey but never brings over any stuffing. So I do it
Uh,
separately. I used to just fill the crock pot up and do it. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Marty. I could definitely drop it and not tell anybody. Ron's never really in the kitchen when I'm cooking, so he'd never know. He doesn't eat it anyway. More for me. I like all those carby, starchy things.
Me too.
Stovetop stuffing. Anne, I found a recipe for making stuffing balls. And so you make it like your regular stuffing, but you add an egg to it, and then you form them into balls. Here we go with that ball conversation again, Jean.
Yeah,
Um, and then
would think it was Valentine's Day.
you'd think so. You anyway, You put it into balls and you freeze it. And then you can just pull out one or two, depending on how many you need for your meal. So I've done that many times because, like I say, stuffing is my favorite thing. It's okay, Marty. And the very first time I actually cooked a turkey, my sister said, and then you put it under the bird. So I put all the stuffing under the bird. It was the moistest stuffing you could ever imagine. Yeah, exactly, Marguerite. Exactly. And then you get the nice crunchy bits around the edge. Yeah, no dressing in the bird. I don't, because I don't get the bird.
Well, for our family, for Thanksgiving, um, my son-in-law's mom is always there too, which is fine. We get along great.
Yeah.
In fact, if we lived in the same town, we'd probably do everything together. But they like cornbread. And so does actually my son does now too, even though he never had it until he got married. And so it's pretty much just me that prefers regular stuffing. So stovetop is perfect because it's just enough for me.
Yeah. I just see what I like doing with stovetop stuffing is crumbling it and using it like shake and bake.
Oh.
It's wonderful on pork chops. Just say it.
Um, when we have to have a holiday dinner, just Gary and I, because the kids are doing their thing with the other family or whatever, um, one of our favorite dishes is I take a small pork tenderloin
Yeah,
and I slice it so that it can lay out to be a big piece of meat. So it's kind of a spiral slice.
right.
Then I make stovetop stuffing and put it all on top of it and roll it up, tie it up. And that's how I make them together.
Nice.
And we love that. Good night. This is going to take me forever.
So the way I do it is I put it in the blender or whatever. It's hard. It's really hard to. You can't just use your rolling pin. You might use a meat mallet on it or whatever to break it up, but then I slice my pork tenderloin into slices and bread it and bake it, and it's good too.
Mmm.
Oh, for bread to make stuffing with. Interesting. Oh, chicken stuffing and potatoes. So it's almost like a chicken pot pie, but the potatoes are the crust, Malia? Or is the stuffing on the bottom like the bottom crust? Oh, I'm so snoopy, eh? Art and recipes all in one. Well, you know how we get. Especially if I've been cooking in the morning. It's on my mind. Look, it took me all that time to thread this ruddy needle, guys. Oh, it's going to be a long week today. Chicken cheese pot. Potatoes on top. Red chicken and do that instead. Oh, that would be nice. So those of you who don't always manage to catch Malia's videos, I've asked her to post them in my Meet Your Creativity group. She put together some fabulous spring packs, and they are incredible. So anybody who's doing a journal is looking for springy things. It's perfect.
Cool.
Hey, nice to see you. You need a snack? Yeah, we do this. I get it. I had rice. I made up the recipe, but it was good. It was good.
Well, when I get off of here, I'm having meatloaf sandwiches.
Oh, I love meatloaf sandwiches. I've got meatloaf in the freezer. Maybe that's what we'll have for supper.
It's this is kind of silly, but last night or yesterday when Gary comes home at lunch, we discuss what we're going to do for supper. Unless it's something I'm going to put in the crock pot, and then I already know. And uh, I don't know why I think glue is a good thing.
Blue is my favorite color, no matter what color it is.
Glue.
Glue. Oh, sorry.
Anyway, um, I said, I'm hungry for baked potatoes. How about meatloaf and baked potatoes? And he said, okay. And he comes in and he brings this package of hamburger and he says, I have this half a package too. And we usually get it in pound packages because it's just the two of us. And he
I
says,
buy it in 10-pound packages, and there's just the two of us. Sorry, go ahead.
Anyway, he brings in and he says, how about you make an extra big meatloaf and use both of these? And I said, okay, didn't think anything about it. Then as I'm mixing it up last night, I thought, extra big? I used to make all my meatloafs with 2 pounds of hamburger.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love the leftovers from meatloaf. I absolutely
too.
And Ron loves meatloaf sandwiches. So
I like leftovers, and I cook to have leftovers so that I have something for lunch the next day.
I do it so I don't have to cook for 3 days. Do loaves cook better? See, I've actually taken to making my meatloaf in muffin tins because if I do meatloaf size, then we eat way too much of it because there's more. You can go back for more, but if they're just in muffin tins, you're limited.
Well, if I make baked potato with it, I don't eat too much. That's my reasoning.
Yeah, well, it depends on what you put on your baked potatoes too. But that would be a wonderful supper for today. I've got double baked potatoes in the freezer with cheese and jalapenos, and I've got meatloafs in the freezer. I think that's going to be supper today. Yes. You put cheese in your meatloaf?
I do too.
I don't.
My son-in-law doesn't like it, but Aaron does. So if they're over here and we're having meatloaf, he has to deal with it.
Yeah.
I do cook different things for different people sometimes.
Me too. I've got a restaurant. Pork ribs in the crock pot? Oh, yum. So do you use the actual pork ribs or do you take like a pork butt roast and cut it into slices? My mom got tired of paying for pork bones, so she would buy a pork roast and then just slice it up. Oh, no. It's your husband's birthday? Well, happy birthday to your husband, and I hope he feels better soon. And that would be a lovely thing to do for him. Oatmeal meatloaf? I use fresh bread because it sops up the fat, which is so bad for you, but it tastes so freaking good.
That's the only way I don't like meatloaf is with fresh bread.
Huh. Weird.
I use cracker crumbs. I have used oatmeal, and I like that.
Yeah, I've used oatmeal. Roseanne used to use cornflakes. Remember the show Roseanne? She would say, add a box of cornflakes to give it bulk. Oh, you can't have gluten. Yeah, that makes sense. Perfect sense, Joni. We're doing junk embroidery today, so I'm working on this wall hanging. Jean is wrapping a hoop, and she doesn't seem to be having much fun.
No, I'm not really at all.
Oh, you've used cooked rice? What a great idea. See, like when I make shepherd's pie with ground beef, I do like half beef and half lentils, half cooked lentils. The lentils are cooked, but half meat and half lentils. Gotta get that fiber when you're old, eh? I like the idea of the cooked rice. See, I use cooked rice when I make wraps and put them in the freezer. I make like Spanish rice or whatever and add it to freezer wraps. Because I always like to have a couple of dozen of those as well. Went to visit my girlfriend on Wednesday afternoon, and she just laughs because every time I go over there, well, she doesn't laugh. She appreciates it. She just had a stroke recently, so I bring her food. And so we were talking about it, and I said, you know what? I just realized that because I used to teach cooking, I had a restaurant, I catered a bit. I always, when I was doing crafts and art stuff, I was always doing mass making for sale for things. So that's probably why I still mass cook as well, because I don't know how to do anything with just like one person or two, you know?
I have gotten way better at it. Pretty much it's like I cook for 3 people.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of leftovers.
I pretty much use my Dutch oven for everything. And I've even had to, if it's not big enough for the Dutch oven, switch to a 15-quart pot because, but you don't need 15 quarts of stuff, Kim. You really don't. I have 3 freezers. They're all full, and I've got stuff out on my deck. Yeah, Ron used to take the leftovers too the next day in his lunch. I only had 2, but I fed all the kids they'd bring home with them.
So, can I ask you why you buy groceries if your freezers are full?
That's what my kids ask me. Well, because sometimes things are on sale and I'm low on stuff, right? So if I'm down to uh 2 meatloaves and like a meal for meatloaves and a meal for Salisbury steak in the freezer, I will buy 10 pounds of ground beef so that I can replenish. Yeah, cooking for 2. Yeah, I get it. So I can't. I just can't do it. And I mean, my kids just laugh. Grandkids come and shop in my freezer. My kids shop in my freezer. I don't know. And sometimes my hands just aren't good enough to chop anything. So it's lovely to be able to pull something out and just go.
I think you should challenge yourself to eat out of the freezer without a purchase
Oh, I've done
for,
that.
for 3 months.
I've done it. We did that. We did that. It's just really nice to have, because I don't know about you guys, but some days I just really don't feel like cooking.
That's pretty much me every day. Gary does 90% of the cooking.
Well,
But
Ron doesn't.
then I get this decision in my head that I want to cook. And so when I do, I seem to cook all week long. And yeah,
Exactly, Anne. Exactly. All your kids will be on the East Coast now. Does that mean that you're going to end up moving too, Joni? I live smack dab between my 2 kids. One kid lives 5 or 6 miles east, and the other one's 5 or 6 miles west. Well, both of them are like 11 kilometers from here. I don't know what that is in miles. Don't know.
no, I live 2 hours from both of my kids. At least they're in the same town. And I
No.
keep telling my husband we should retire there, and he's
Yeah.
like, we can't afford a house there
Yeah.
because the cost of living is quite a bit higher.
Right. Well, like I say, I'm halfway between both my kids, and it's nice because and everybody's here for meals and things, so it works for me.
Yeah.
It does. It does. It was nice when the grandkids were little. I could see them all the time. Haven't seen one set of grandkids since Christmas, and see my other grandson very rarely, like just at canasta wars now, because you know they become these adult creatures, and you never see them. They don't need you
Mm-hmm.
anymore.
Yep. My oldest is 15 and not an adult, but
Yeah,
yeah.
you just don't count the same. Like they'll still give you a hug and kiss when they see you, tell you they love you, but they don't call.
And
Yeah.
I keep telling him, I don't have to talk for hours on the phone. Just, so I do call them. I call them all. Well, the younger ones, of course, don't have a phone, but you know what? I'm their grandma. I'm going to call them.
My kids don't talk on the phone. None of my grandkids talk on the phone. It's really weird.
Now, Kennedy, my oldest granddaughter, that's a whole nother story.
Well, yeah, okay. My only granddaughter, if I phone her, she'll talk. But the boys, they'll just let go to voicemail. Permafrost meals, I love it. Oh, yeah, and for sure. I love pre prepping. Like when we do Christmas dinner and stuff, that's why I was scrambling so bad at Christmas time because I was using my deck as a freezer. I'm using it again because it's minus 30. Um, but yeah, we definitely use our decks as the freezer here. But I scrambled to empty out my freezers to make room for stuff. You also have to consider I probably had 150 to 100 pounds of apples. I don't know. My freezer, my one big freezer, every other package you look at is some sort of apple something. Because I wasn't going to let it all go to waste.
I saw a really good looking recipe for an apple dessert the other day. Of course, it was a video,
Yeah,
but oh man, they used phyllo dough
yeah,
and they crumbled it up like, you know,
yeah, yeah. Almost like a strudel.
and then yeah, and then they just put it on the pan, and then they put a can of apple pie filling, and then some applesauce just to help it spread out, and then put on another layer of the crunched up phyllo dough. Of course, there was butter in there between those. Oh, looked so good. But
Yeah,
I don't know how those recipes are. How they work. All those little short videos. Are they good? Are they not? Are they a joke? I don't know.
yeah. Well, I mean, I've done enough cooking that I can read something and I will adapt it to what I think.
Yeah.
Well, I cook by feel, right? I look at the recipe, read it, and make it my way anyway. Oh, Marty, that's wonderful that it's only 2 hours away now. Her son lived in Vegas and moved close. Now he's only 2 hours away. And said, same daughter in law asked how I fed so many people and made it look so easy. Yeah, weeks worth of cooking, definitely. You dehydrated? Yeah, I've got a whack load of dehydrated apples too. Yep, canned apples. Tasted horrible. Oh, yeah, for sure. I use, I'll make like apple pie smoothies. They're more like a dessert than a smoothie. You just call it a smoothie because it's liquid, right? And it sounds healthy. It's not. It's just not. But yeah, I use I make overnight oatmeal, and that's what I use my dehydrated apples for.
I
Yeah,
have tried that overnight oatmeal and I don't like it.
no, it's an
I
acquired taste.
I thought I would because I love granola in my yogurt,
Yeah,
and I like it better when it's gotten soggy.
yeah.
But I thought I could do it, thinking, oh, I like that.
Yeah, but granola and oatmeal are two different things because granola is baked with honey or peanut butter or whatever, right? So it's crisp and crunchy.
Yeah, I suppose. But it's my own oatmeal or own granola, so I knew what was in it.
Yeah. Oh, so
So,
you when you did the overnight oatmeal, you put the granola right in, not the regular oats.
uh-huh.
Okay.
Thinking I could do that, but I couldn't.
Okay. I haven't tried it with granola. Yeah, granola is like a dessert. You know what? I love overnight oats. I'd rather have overnight oats as a bedtime snack kind of thing than potato chips. I know neither is healthy for you, but at least I've got my homegrown apples in there. Yeah, I haven't made granola for a long time either, Marguerite. I used to, my kids always wanted me to make them homemade granola. And so I would make them each a big bag for Christmas. And then I realized that a batch of granola was costing close to $12. Mind you, I would split the batch between the two kids, but that's a chunk of change for.
Well, I like to make my own. I've only done it a few times because so much of the store-bought stuff has coconut in it.
Yeah, I put coconut in mine.
I don't like coconut.
Ah, see?
If it was up to me, it would just have a little bit of brown sugar and probably a little bit of honey just to make it um, liquidy,
Yeah.
and then oatmeal and all kinds of nuts.
See, that's where I can't, right? I'm allergic to peanuts and I'm pretty sure I'm allergic to walnuts. So I use almonds, but and sunflower seeds.
Yeah, those two are my favorite, but pumpkin seeds are amazing in there too.
They are. They are. They are.
Hmm.
Oh, you get heartburn from coconut?
I've never had. I mean, there's a few things that I've ate that have coconut in it because the goodness of everything else just overpowers the coconut. And we were at a brewery one time, and we eat at breweries a lot. Um, so we just had an appetizer for lunch and shared that because we kind of do that. That's what we eat for lunch, and then we have supper early.
Okay, Marty, take care. Big hugs.
Bye, Marty. Thanks for coming. This is mine, and it's going to be in a hoop. Anyway, so I ordered this dessert, and it was some kind of brownie with ice cream and chocolate curls on it, it said.
Ooh.
Well, when it came, it had these white curls, and I just assumed it was white chocolate,
Yeah.
and it was coconut curls,
Ooh.
and they were toasted.
Yeah.
And evidently, there's a whole big difference in um, the the curls in the big, like this long is, and then there is in shredded coconut because I loved that. but I
Yeah,
still don't like shredded.
I like coconut.
Oh, I'm so glad you got that, Malia. It wasn't showing up on my uh, postal thingy. Informed delivery. I have another box started. Well, actually, I have a box started in two different areas. You want to see one of them that's coming? Because it's really close. I'll grab it.
I would send you books too, Malia, if we lived closer and it didn't cost me a bazillion bucks.
Are you ready?
Ooh, that's beautiful. Wow. That's a lovely book. Anne's drooling. I don't know, Malia. I really don't.
Is this not a cool book?
That is a
This
very cool book.
I might have to tear one of these pages out. Oh, look, it's almost torn out anyway. I like this.
Yes.
But I really don't make junk journals anymore. So this is 1963.
Beautiful book.
Yeah, it's cool. I had to make more room in here, so there's more books than I even thought I had.
Hey, Sherry, nice to see you, hon. You staying warm, Sherry? Another stupid minus 30 day. Sherry, I don't even like sending stuff in Canada because I sent that. I wasn't paying attention. So it is my own fault. But when I sent that journal to Janine that she won on the New Year's stream that Miriam and I did, it cost me $22. And if I'd have thought about it, if I'd have put it in one of those boxes, I would have saved $5. But no, I just took it and put it in a bag and didn't even think that I should just throw it in a box. So that was my own fault. But still, $22. And you know what? She lives like 25 miles from me.
You could have driven it there.
I could have. She didn't want to give me her whatever. We talked. She rathered mail, so I did it.
Yeah, the cost of postage makes it hard to give things away sometimes.
Yeah, it's 4 Celsius there. It is minus 30 Celsius here with the wind chill, Marguerite. But I mean, if I'd have sent that package to Jan or even Marguerite in British Columbia, it would have been the same price. So that's what irritates me is, and then after the postal strike, prices have gone up. Stupid. I could have driven. And I would have. But not everybody wants to meet online people, right? Okay. What is happening here? What have you done now? Oh yeah, I definitely could have driven. We go to the city at least twice a month. Crazy, just crazy, I tell you. Anyway, it's done. It is done. So, anybody have anything planned for Valentine's Day? I do not. I'm gonna eat out of the freezer. So these plastic things that I did, um, I can't really get needles through them. Well, I can, but you can't see where you're coming back up, and it kind of chews it up a little bit. So Gina and I decided on doing something with them, and I totally forgot. I could have met her at a neutral location. Anyway, it's done now. It is done. All's good. You're home alone? You're going live? Cool. I don't know what. Ron's busy playing. Ouch. Almost dropped. Yes, I stopped. Never mind. Gina and I were chatting behind the before we came live, and Ron's office is right above me. And I said to Jean, "Did you hear that?" And she goes, "Yep." Ron had dropped one of the steel balls he's using, and it rolled across the floor. So anyway, we are just kind of joking rudely because yeah, it is a learning experience, Belinda. Like I say, this one is my prototype type, and I really, really love the way it's looking. I have more ideas for other stuff, but I really want to get this one finished before I go on to the other stuff. But I've learned like these, I have to iron on the vinyl beforehand. It is definitely small gifts and cards for hubby and daughter, mail cards with the little dollars to grands, cook steak for hubs and daughter, fish for you. Lovely. Oh, nice, Malia. You're actually getting a faster internet. Oh, I'm so happy for you. So happy for you.
Bye, Carol.
Bye, Carol. Take care. See you soon. Okay. Oh, yeah, handling fee. Yeah, I didn't charge any handling fees, nothing. I just mail stuff out when people win stuff. That's why I've started. I'm going to be doing digitals at the end of the month instead of sending out journals. I just can't afford it anymore. It's crazy. Oh, I'm excited for you, Malia. That's going to be so fabulous. I know how much you've been struggling with that. Why is my phone ringing?
Yeah, Jenny, I am. I was surprised that I am extremely bored with this, though.
I'm not bored with it. I have lots of blank spaces and I want to give it some more depth.
No,
But
I'm bored with the wrapping.
oh, yeah. Well, you're close, though. You are so close.
I am. I see a few empty spots, where it's like it's not close enough. But I have this feeling that if it shows more than I would like it to, that I could take a black Sharpie to those spots.
You could. I was just thinking that. I was just thinking that. Okay, Jean, I'm gonna make you big. I have to run up and see who was calling.
Okie
Sorry,
dokie.
guys. I've got. You know. I'll be back.
So y'all get to sit here and watch me wrap. I'm anxious to see it finished. I like the hoops that are wrapped in something. And I think that comes from years and years ago when I used to do craft shows. Yes, it would have been easier to paint it, Belinda, but I'm hoping that the texture adds to the whole thing because it's, in embroidery. I don't know. But years ago, when I first started doing craft shows, I'm sure you've all seen them. Well, maybe not all of you, because you may not be that old. But people used to buy fabric that had a motif thing, and then put it in a hoop and glue lace around it, and that was something I took to shows and did stuff. Yeah, and so when I see the embroidery hoop as part of it, sometimes it's hard for me to handle. So I don't know. I started wrapping some of these when I do them, and I like it. So it I have to like it. Otherwise, how could I sit here and keep doing it? Because it is extremely boring. And I think that most of the time I've wrapped it with pearl cotton. This time I'm wrapping it with 6 strands of embroidery floss and pearl cotton winds. And I have a bunch of crochet cotton too, so I might try that next time. But definitely not the embroidery floss. It's even the 6 strands. It's too thin. Now I will say putting it on a bobbin. If you ever have to wrap something, putting it on a bobbin was the best part.
Yeah, almost like when we used to do macrame. Remember when we would do macrame and things are like 9 feet long and you're trying to work with it, so you have to butterfly wrap it so it works for you.
I cut the cord.
She cut the cord.
And then my issues with the glue on top of all of that were enough to make me want to quit.
But it didn't.
I know. Because by golly, I'm finishing something.
One day I will finish something. Woohoo! Not sure when, but we can try.
Okay. Looks worse on the inside than the outside, so that's a good thing. And the painting really did help brighten it up and took most of the lines away. Not all of them.
Okay, so when you painted it originally, did you use watercolor or did you use acrylic?
I used watercolor.
Okay.
I need to put it in. Okay, let's try this.
Yeah.
See?
Very nice. I like it.
I do too. I'm an outline girl.
I know, me too.
Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm gonna screw this puppy on. Okay. So I am not going to add anything else to this. This is finished. And in case anybody remember what we talked about last week, what I was going to do with this when it was done, I'm not answering it. Neither is Kim. So y'all, somebody better remember.
You guys got to remember. I remember. Yeah, Malia. Oh, my word. I have. Yeah, I know.
Hi, Sharon.
Nice to see you, Sharon. Nice to see you. So, who remembers what Jean's doing with, when she finished that? Anybody remember? I know you guys talked about it.
Yep.
I remember that. And my memory is caca. Exactly, Malia. I'll be honest with you. My poor nephew, love the man to pieces. He gave me a guitar to paint 6 years ago, 5 years ago. It's been years. And so I sanded it down. I gessoed it. And every time I worked on it, the paint freaking slid. It hates me. Absolutely stinking hates me. So I put it away. If the paint hardens for a couple of weeks, it's not as bad. But I mean, I'm not going to do one single line and then wait for a week. It would be done by now, though, if I did it.
This is what it will look like. It's on its own little stand, too.
That's beautiful.
No. See if we can get this camera back up here, right?
I like it. I like it muchly. So anyway, I haven't finished painting this stinking guitar, and I have to get it done. My goal is to have it done by Easter.
Well,
I have no idea when Easter is, but
what I said I was going to do with this, Anne is the one who started it.
yeah.
If that helps. Well, I'll give you one hint. If you don't remember, I'll save some money. Waiting for any art supply, Malia, is the hardest period of time.
It is.
I have been watching the ads on Facebook and stuff for that. I don't know, Lumi pen, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like a $70 pen, but it's got all the different nibs and it's refillable. And I keep thinking, could that eliminate all the other pens I have? And I still haven't.
Oh, Susan, they're wanting you to sell it, auction it.
Okay,
Have
I'll
you met
give.
Jean? Have you met Jean? It has to stay in her possession until she doesn't like it anymore.
So what I was going to do is somebody said, I wonder how much that's going to weigh.
I love you, Susan.
And so I was going to let you all give me an estimate on what you think it'll win. And the winner's going to get, and I haven't finished filling this yet, but I'm going to put more goodies in it so that you would have a stash to do a bead embroidery if you wanted to. So how many do we have in here, Kim?
Oh, I don't know. How do I tell? I have no idea how to tell how many people are here.
Doesn't it say up in the top corner?
Where? In StreamYard?
where it says live.
Oh, and there's an eyeball and it's got a number 17.
Okay.
17.
Okay, so there's 17 watching. I'm not going to weigh this today because I'm going to take your numbers and then I'm going to fill my little thingy. Um, if you live out of the United States and you win, I will find something that I can send you digitally because of the cost of postage. So I will still pick the next closest one to send the goodie bag to. That makes any sense. I don't have a lot of digitals that I've made, but I have a couple. I have a really cute ABC book with pictures that I could send that to. So,
And a doodle watercolor book.
oh yeah, I do. I have my doodle watercolor book too. And I have a doodle black and white one where you can doodle in more. So, all right. So, what I want you to guess, what do we want to go in? Do we want to go in ounces, grams?
Ounces are good.
Okay.
Hey, Cheshire Cat, nice to see you.
So, what you need to do is you need to give me your guess on how many ounces you think this is. So we're going to start right now. Cheshire Cat's last post is going to be where it changes. So when I go back to look at it, if I forget. So tell me how many ounces you think this is.
Susan says 12. Are you writing these down?
I'm getting ready to.
Just remember, there's 16 ounces in a pound, right?
You want to read them to me, starting with Susan?
Okay. Susan says 12. And from Virginia says 8. Monica says 7. Joni says 9. Malia says 14. Oh, Malia and Belinda. Belinda, you'll need to pick a new number. Because Malia picked 14. You're the second one on my list. Marguerite says 5. Cheshire Cat says 15. Monica says she'll pay shipping when she wins. Just remember, guys, it's not for the embroidery. It's for stuff. A little container of stuff. Belinda says 11.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh,
Sharon.
Oh, Sharon said 6. Sorry. Where did? Oh, way back there. Sorry. Closest without going over.
Yes.
You got all the numbers, Jean. All the numbers.
Okay, I have it.
Well, no, I don't know if anybody else is there still.
Okay, so I have Susan for 12, Anne for 8, Monica for 7, Joni for 9, Malia for 14, Belinda for 11, Marguerite for 5, Cheshire Cat, was hers 5?
15.
15. I wrote her name, but I didn't write the number. And Sharon for 6.
And then, Belinda 11. Yeah.
9 out of 17. Okay. There's 6 of you that are going to miss out because I got lots of goodies.
She has lots of goodies.
These are just some of them. There's a lot of crosses in here, and I'm not going to send that many crosses because I don't think anybody wants that many crosses. But there's these cool little M&M beads, and there's some these and some of these. And I'll keep going. Oh, one of these. Oh, let's throw in a couple felt balls.
Yes,
Oh,
why not?
how about this? A shrinky flower.
Look at her
And
stuff, guys. She has bins of all these kinds of wonderful little odds and sods.
ooh, looky here. I didn't make very many of these. Boom. Here's some round ones with ridges.
Oh yeah, Carol left. Yeah.
I throw in a couple of those thingies. Oh, there'll be more of these, but they're not all out. The cool little flowers. Oh, we're gonna throw in another shrinky. And go with
Oh, you just made coffee. Oh, Sherry, do you want to put in for how much you think it weighs?
Oh, there we go.
Not that it's for that little container that, well, I don't know that you're going to get the container, but you can get what's in the container of beads and things if you win. And we're guessing the weight in ounces of the embroidery Jean just did. So if you want to put in a number, how much you think it weighs, that would be cool. We have so far numbers 12, 8, 6, 7, 14, 9, 5, 15, 11, 6, I said. So somewhere in there, 9.5. All right, Sherry. 9.5, Jean.
Okay.
Jean, do you have your felted and thread ball bits kicking around that you could show people that you made?
I just put them back in the living room yesterday.
Never mind.
Oh, that's okay. I'll go get them.
Because I think that would be, since we're doing this junk embroidery, I think it would
I'm
be
even
cool.
going to throw in the other half of the felt ball because I can. And some little slices. And let's put in some more little beads. Because if you're going to put beads in, you need beads. Oh, those are going to, no, they're not going to fall out.
Hey, Cheshire Cat, nice to see you. I'm sorry I don't remember your name. Oh, hey. Colleen, are you still here? Colleen was here. I guess maybe she left and I missed her. Would Malia put a number in? I have a good memory. Shorter than short. Yes, Malia put a number in. All right.
Okay. All right. I think I have a whole nother area to fill. Right now we're in the paper making section of my studio. And I will find some more beads and stuff to put in there. So I'm done. I'm going to start another one, but I don't want to start it today.
Okay, then do a show and tell with your bits.
Okay, but I'm going to go potty.
Okay. You do that. I'll go big for a bit. All right. So Jean and I both have totally different styles. You guys know that. So I'm working on it, slow but sure. I'm making these ugly little centipede kind of things because, like I say, I can't embroider on top of these plastic pieces because I can't see to put the needles through. So I'm working on doing some embroidery and then I want to start building up with some beads. Ron, I didn't like the wood with like the wood beads that I had with this. And then he brought me these, and I kind of like them. But Jean and I were talking, and she too just thought that I should add some of these black beads, like these black things, offset kind of. So I'm definitely going to use some of these black washers. And I would love to throw in just one yellow washer, possibly here, maybe there. Actually, I like it there. Anyway, so I'm still adding things. And these are just lightly tacked down. So I would like to do some stitching possibly around the edge before. And I do really like the way this pink pencil crayon worked here. Hey, Steph, nice to see you. So I was going to do like a shadow in amongst these metal hoops with the pink pencil crayon. Yeah. So it's coming. It's coming. I am very slow. I think we decided too that if I used a black washer, I'll have to ask Jean when she gets back. If I use a black washer, use a big white pearl bead in the center. Yeah, you know what, Belinda? I'm having a lot of fun with this. I know it's a little bit off the wall, but it fits in with my eclectic decor. I'm just looking to see if I have my pearl beads. Of course not. I took them to my daughter's place because she was doing those beaded things. So I'll probably need to find. Okay, these aren't huge, but I could get away with them. Or I could use orange ones, right? Because I'm like the flow of the orange. So if I used an orange pearl on that, on the black. Oh, I like the orange ones. But I was hoping to have something more this size. Because, like I say, I want to start building up some depth. What do you guys think? The white one is really nice and big, but don't you think the orange one looks better? Because it is very blah colors for the way I usually work. I also have pink pearls, but they're much smaller. So I was thinking of maybe doing an outline of pink pearls around this. I don't know. I'm playing. And I think we were going to put a big button here and a big button there. Anyway, I will ask Jean when Jean gets back if she thinks I should use an orange pearl on that.
I'm back.
Yeah, wooden, steel, felt, pearl, lots of balls today. Yeah. Jean's back. Okay, Jean, I need to ask you because we were talking about using these black things offset, and I wanted to use a big pearl on it. So the white pearls, which I probably wouldn't use anyway, are still at my daughter's place. She is so sick. I don't want to go over there. I love her dearly, but no, she's really not well right now. So, and it's that cold flu thing that's going around, bronchitis. It's now a lung infection. So I could use a big pearl like that, or I could use an orange pearl. I really like the orange pearl better. What do you think?
Do you have the orange in bigger?
I don't.
Mm.
I know. I could go and get my orange beads though, and I bet you I've got a big orange bead that.
I like the orange, but I think it needs to be bigger.
Okay, I'll go get my bin of orange beads. Get that orange bead bin. All right, I will make you big right away after we find.
Okay, so I'm going to show you some of my components. I have this thing planned. I'm going to take a wooden, not wooden, it is wood, stick from the yard. Well, not from my yard, I don't have trees, but my brother got it for me from the farm where I grew up. And I'm going to wrap it in something, don't know what. And then I just want all kinds of things hanging off of it. I have some things started. So it's just kind of all my components have kind of made their way back to yeah, made their way back to um being in a collection so I can kind of get them all together type of things. So did you find an orange bead? Oh yeah. I mean,
But see, I could also, because they're just beautiful big ball beads, I could also put something smaller on top, right? And build it up.
and you could put a larger sequin under it too.
I could put a sequin under it too. So yeah, I think I like that with those big orange beads. Like I've got these ones as well. But that's not gonna that could be interesting though. They might go somewhere else.
Okay, do you want to?
No, we're not gonna audition. I'm gonna make you big and you can do your thing. I'm still
Okay.
making French knots.
So if we weren't boring today with what we were doing, our talk made up for it. But anyway, so I just added some more flowers to the little jar. These are my handmade beads. Sorted in as close to colors as possible. So let's take one that's got some sparkles on it. Add that. Oh, and here's some of my square ones, puffy ones. And here's another tray. And as always, can put some blue ones in there.
Look at those beads, ladies. Look at those beads.
This is all paper beads, and I just put it on an ink pen center. Or, not the refill. I just took the pen cartridge out, so it's got a little flexibility. Haven't decided if I like it, but these beads all fit, so I didn't take them off.
Jean, Joni wants to know what you coat your beads with.
I use a hardener, and oh, I don't know what it's called. It's out in the garage. I'd have to go. In fact, I don't even know if I still have the container because I poured it in a glass jar to work with it. But I use a hardener and then I use Minwax. Or a lot of these are with the triple thick that you can get it at Hobby Lobby. It's really, it's like $7 for a little bottle. About like that big around, that high. And it goes a long, long way. And I do multiple coats. I tried dipping them in the Minwax, and I just prefer to have it brushed. I get a better finish. That's just me. But there's a lot of time in these two trays of beads. There's so much time that there's a whole nother strand that needs to be coated one more time. And it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. And then I don't use them. It's not that I
He
don't.
hoards them.
I haven't used them. So then I have this. This is a long-term thing. I actually cut the end of it off for one of the, because I wanted that little bead right there, little foam felt bead. These are done kind of like a yo-yo, but stuffed. And then there's one of the stitched around felt balls, and then there's some boho beads and beads stuck to felt balls and stitched felt balls and some yo-yos. I didn't know what I was going to do with these as I made them, so they just kind of all went on a strand. It would be a cool necklace. Wouldn't be heavy at all. So that's another component I do. This is what Kim and I'm hoping she'll let me do. She's pretty strict and pretty bossy, so I don't know.
That's me. Yeah.
Scrappy balls. There's actually a Facebook group for Scrappy balls. And this ball is a bunch of scrap yarn. I was given a bunch of plastic canvas stuff at a garage sale. I mean, they filled my car up with it. And so I've got like yard and a half pieces of thread or yarn. And so I would wrap one and then wrap another until I made a ball. And then I covered this one with strips of fabric. And then I'm just stitching all over it. I have a whole great big jar of these.
She
Some
does.
of
They're beautiful.
some of them are crazy, and some of them. Anyway, this one is the yarn also, but then I use little pieces of ribbon. Well, this is a silk ribbon, and then so is this orange one, so is this pink one, and then a piece of lace. And all I did is just the sloppy straight stitch around them all because I really, really liked it. And this one has to be repaired because one of the buttons has come loose. But this is just bits of fabric covering probably a foam ball for the size. And then I just kind of did the stitches. They're sloppy, kind of satin stitch, but I don't know. I like it. That's why they're called scrappy balls. This is the one that's in progress right now. I have felt circles, and I'd stitch it on, and then I'd stitch a different color.
Great idea, Malia. Malia's using plastic bags and wrapping them into scrappy balls. She used up the paper bags.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
It is. It really is. Sorry for interrupting.
That's okay. I was reading Joni's. Yeah, it's one of those times when you just need to sit down for a while, and then you can code it. I have 3 styrofoam discs and toothpicks, and I go buy my toothpicks at Dollar Tree because they do get gummed up pretty quick. And I'll do one coat, and then I'll go to the next disc and fill it with the toothpicks and beads. And by the time I'm finished with the second one, I can put the second coat on the first one, and so it does seem to help a little bit in the speed. But this one, I can pull these 2 up, and you can see it's just yarn. The plastic bags is a good idea. I saw where they melted them together, ironed them together the other day, and I'd heard about that a long time ago, but hadn't done anything with it. And then these are nothing. These are just painted puzzle pieces, but they'll work really good in junk stuff. So put a couple of those in there. And let's see, what do I have next? Probably my very favorite part of what I've been using, because I've been making these for a long time, and I'm finally getting to use them if I can get it open. These are my shrinky pieces, my shrinky flowers. And there's a lot of time in these too, because you got to cut them out, and you got to color them, and then draw on them, and then shrink them, and then shape them. But I have a whole bunch right here, and I know I have a lot to use. And I can use these, but I'm ready to make some more now, since I have a use for them. And then, of course, there's always the big beads. I haven't even brought out on my components and stuff my lamp work beads. That's something else I have done. I don't do that anymore, but I have them. Oh, and here's some more scrappy balls. I also like to add pom-poms. This is going to be in the thing that hangs, because it's just going to have all kinds of stuff in it. And here's the start of one of my things that hangs. There's just this little Any of you that follow Shelley, we've done these little squares quilted in Tisha Moore style for a long time. That's where it's an old piece. I have little rings I've crocheted around. I've done the blanket binding stitch around some, and I've crocheted around some. Crochet is much faster. And then I have lots of boho beads like this. And then this is just fiber tassel. And I even have some bigger ones. And all of these are going to be in my hanging down thingy. And then I have some strips of fabric I've just sewn together front and back to make like straps. And I have more of the little quilted pillow things. And I didn't know these were in here, but they are. So some more scrappy balls. This one was a felt ball that I had made, and I just stitched on it. I love doing this. And then I got tired of it, so I did French knots because I like them. Here's another with the felt circles. Most of it's just stitched on. A few buttons. And this one is a yarn ball and strips of fabric, and I just stitched them down. Reminds me of the inside of a baseball.
It does. Joni asks if you've seen the picture of her tree branch with tassels hanging down. I don't think I've seen that,
No,
Joni. Is that on Instagram?
I'd love to see that. And here's another component of the hanging down stuff. This comes from my little jar of fibers that I save all my bits and pieces of, wrap them up into a ball, and then take some thread and wind them up. This time I added beads to it. This one is layers of felt, and I put beads on it to make it a link so I could push it as tight as possible. I thought I had one on here. Oh, it's right here. And when you put the link in it, you can get them. And I stack them so they kind of form a ball, but then I, give them a little haircut. And then again, a pom-pom. And, I've never been a plastic bead person. So these are out of my norm, but I still love them. I have more paper beads. These haven't had the proper varnishing, but they got put in here. And then what do we have in here? So we have some more little pillow things. And this is just felt circles stitched together because, they can link with something. Here's another scrappy ball I made a long, long time ago. It's actually got the wire in it. I left it in there because I think I had to force it. And it's just a mess. It's got everything in it. And then I put the bead cap on it because, it was cool. So I finally, like I said, I have gathered all my components into pretty much one area. Man, my words are just not coming out today.
Mine either. All's good.
This is a button I just kind of stitched around and played with. Kind of like these. And some more fiber beads that I've just kind of stitched together. These I wadded up and then just stitched all the way through it, and they're pretty secure. There's a sequined and another wild bead, another just stitched felt ball. There's a lot of I love to do this. This is great for me to work on in the car when I travel. And some more boho beads. I actually bought a kit for this. I can't remember who had it. It was at Bead and Button Show in Santa Fe. Well, I don't know how long ago, but I want to say pushing 15 years because the friend that went with me moved away shortly after my grandson was born. And he's 15, so it could be even 16. And then I have all of these fabric beads. All of these bigger ones like this have a plastic tube inside of them so they can be a little more durable on what you're wearing them. And
What kind? Sorry, what kind of a plastic tube? Like a straw or something?
like the oxygen tubes,
No.
like if you're on oxygen, the tubing,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, because it was given to me.
yeah.
And there's some more the Dorset buttons. This one was done with yarn, and these I don't even know because I see something and I want to make it, and then they just kind of work themselves into a little group of things. I don't even know how I did this one. This is a button because it's solid in the middle.
And says that she would like a live of you making the little felt balls. It would be grand.
Stitching or making the balls. Yeah, fish aquariums, that kind of stuff. And then, like I said, there's all kinds of that stuff in here. I mean, it's all a lot of duplicates of some of the things that I've already showed you. And of course, when I finish everything, I leave a string on it because I never know how it's going to be. And more little felt balls with teeny tiny beads sewed on it, and then a heart hanging off of it. There's another.
Malia wants a video on balls.
Oh, I could make a. There's my with the little pom poms on it, and yeah, just as you can see, it's just a mixture of things because I don't know, but I'm finally at a point where I can use them. I have kind of slowed my own life down, so. That's just these. Y'all want, I can go grab the tray of my lamp work, but I haven't made that for a long time. So, like I said, I didn't know all these balls were in here.
See, all these lovely components she made. Beauteous. Beauteous, beauteous.
I enjoy it. And I don't think I showed you this. This is a bracelet I made. I've never worn it. I probably never will because I don't want to get sweaty or take a shower or wash dishes in it. Because, yes, I will forget. But it's just fabric beads.
Lovely.
And actually, one of my very first videos, well, my very first video was me making the fabric beads. And it is still the most watched video of all of them I have. Which just floors me because it was so simple. So, like I said, that's just part of my components that have found their way into this container so that they are all gathered.
Tunes, bits, and balls. There you go. The name of your video.
Yep. And I think that, and this is really, this is going to go in one of my bead embroideries or junk embroideries. This is kind of grays and oranges with a little bit of purple and some sparkle. I don't know. It's really much prettier than what it's showing on the screen. But this is wool that I have spun into yarn, as is this. But this is a single ply, and so that's why it's got the curl to it. If I would ply it with something else, but I like it this way. And that's about it.
Love it. Love it all. Love it all.
So now my room is a mess again.
No, it's not.
Oh, I don't know that I can do a video. Well, I can do a video. I just don't know if I have enough hours in the day to do them all. Now, see, I even actually have made my own felt balls. This is the tool I use. And I put my wool in there, and I put as absolute much as possible, and I try to even let it come up so that it fills the whole thing. That's the way you get the bigger ones. And then I fill my kitchen sink with hot soapy water, and I put this in there and let it all get wet, and then I go like this. And sometimes I make so many bubbles that I have to scoop the bubbles off to put it in the other sink, and they keep going, and you can feel it, and take it apart and see it forming more of a ball. And I get it till it's really holding together well, and then I take the soaking wet felt and I put it in a, yes, I bought these just for this, knee-high stocking, the knee-highs.
Yep.
And I'll tie it in, and then I'll put another one in and tie it in, put another one in and tie it in, and then I throw them in the dryer all by themselves.
And it
And
probably goes kabing, kabing, kabing,
yeah,
kabing, 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 kabing.
and so it's getting what you need to take wool and make felt, which is heat, soap, and friction, and it gets it done a whole lot faster. And you can do little ones in here too, and of course they take no time. Just this in the sink is pretty good. So anyway, that's what I know. You can put you back on now.
Um, I'm just cleaning up some sequins.
Uh-oh. Did we have a sequin? Oh, how
There's
would I say?
they're static, so I dumped a bunch out to find sequins to go under the orange beads. And the ones I found are small, but it'll work. And because I dumped them all out, they're stuck to everything else plastic on my desk. We're done now. Okay. I share. I share. So yeah, that's what I'm doing is I'm putting these down now because I can. Where did that needle go? Okay. Never mind. I got it. You're bringing in groceries? All right. Yeah, Jean is incredible. Jean is absolutely incredible. Like, I mean, all you guys have incredible talents, but Jean is just the inspiration. You guys know. I know you know.
Well, thank you.
Sequel
I
a
don't.
lunch. Yep.
I don't do it for the kudos. I do it because I love doing it, and I love to try something new. I always like trying something, and sometimes I like it, and sometimes I don't. And most of the time, once I've done it, I'm okay, and I'll find something else to try.
Yeah.
But a lot of it, I go back to my beading was well before everything. Well, no, it really wasn't. I used to do craft shows and did a lot of toll painting. Um,
Me too.
and I did flower arrangements. And one of my favorite bestsellers was where I took an open book and made a flower arrangement on it. And then in the arrangement, I put an old glove and an old string of pearls and just kind of stuff. And that was one of my favorite things to make. And then when we moved down here to Texas in 95, I kind of did a little bit of that. I had a small craft room, and then I started beading, and everything else went by the wayside. And
Are you kidding me?
slowly the stamping and the paper arts worked themselves in, and then the beading went by the wayside. And now I'm back to beading, and paper, it's not totally out. I mean, My goal this year is, excuse me, that's what I was looking for. Sequalanche. Sequalanche. That's what I was trying to say. Thank you, Marguerite. Thank you. Thank you. So, my goal this year is when it comes to paper arts, I'll try something that I see, but I'm going to try working in my journal. I'd like to fill some of these 20 some started journals that I have and then bead. And we'll see how that goes because we all know as creative souls, change our mind all the time.
Yes, yes, we do. And then you have somebody who shares videos with you and go, let's try this.
Well, who would that be?
I'm not pointing any fingers.
Oh, I think we're both as guilty of that as possible.
Maybe.
So I'm not going to start another one because my next one's going to be bigger. I'm going to start kind of like Kim did. I may have it sort of started when we come on next Friday, but I have been making a lot of felt circles because I'm using them in a lot of places. And I love to set and cut things on my machine. I don't know. That's peaceful to me. So I have all these scraps. Yes, I know I give Kim a hard time about saving her scraps, and I'm not a scrap saver. But these felt pieces with holes cut out, and maybe you got real close to the edge, so it's open. They are just calling my name. So I'm going to move my first layer is going to be pieces of felt laid out. So I don't know where it's going from there, but I know for as big as I want it, it's not going to be beaded solid. Because for one, if I decided to sell it, nobody could afford it.
Exactly.
So I think I'm just going to pull out one of my papers and doodle for a while, if you don't mind.
Sure. Not a problem. I'm just adding stuff to this slow but sure. Still not knowing exactly which other ways I want to go with it. I know I want to add, we talked about adding buttons on those silver strips.
Uh-huh.
That's the largest sequin with a hole in the center that I have. So that's what I used. It's what it is. So yeah, I want to add some beads and other stuff now. I know I still have some.
Wait. Are you going to put a little bead on top of that big bead so it sits up straight?
Well, what I was thinking of doing, I want to do that with a separate thinner thread. You know what I mean? Because this thread won't go through like the seed beads or anything if I want to do like a cluster or anything.
Okay.
Right? But yeah, I want to put a smaller bead. I'm just not sure what color or shape or.
So you didn't have to double back on anything.
Yeah, no. I thought about that, and it's like, yeah, that's not going to work if I use this crochet cotton because I'm using the crochet cotton to go through for this. So yeah, I think I'm going to put a smaller bead on top. I used a red sequin underneath because they're both on this crazy red vinyl. And I think that on the red vinyl, we said do button. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
But like I say, I've got some very interesting big orange beads that maybe I would add a couple. Again, they're wood, but they're painted and they're gorgeous. The natural wood tone I find I don't like with this so much. Maybe I'll pull out some pink beads to go with this pink stitching. We're working. We're working here. Really, I am. I am. So, who out there is going to try doing a junk embroidery? Have we inspired anybody to try this? Using stuff, odd stuff to make something fun and excitingly different? Please tell me we've inspired somebody to give this a whirl. Because that would be so cool. Don't you snap on me. Oh. Lost something somewhere. All right. I will look at that right away. I just have to see if I can. This isn't snugging down the way I want it to snug down.
I have a list of things too, and that I put it in my journal so that it wouldn't get lost. And
Fabulous, Joni.
I'm gonna do some of the things that I haven't done for a long time. I haven't made felt beads for years, and I haven't done shrinky for a long time, and it's time to do some of the things, the little stuff that I liked.
Yeah, I don't know what I want to do yet. I've got, like I say, I want to finish something of something. Didn't use a lot of found objects, only found crap. Yeah, yeah. I I get found objects. I have a partner that brings me stuff saying, "Can you use this? This this is shavings from when he was making me the plastic washers. So now I have this plastic hair like substance that I don't know what. Yeah, it's interesting. So I've got that. I've got the washers he brought me, and then today he brought me in these little pieces of wood because the holes weren't drilled in the right place for what he needed. You know, you know.
Mine hasn't brought me home a surprise in a while, but he used to bring me home these circle graphs that they measure something on at work,
Yeah.
and those were pretty cool.
I used to get things like squashed washers or coins because he worked for the railway. So, of course, they put stuff on the tracks to flatten because they do. So, I had a whole collection of like flat money. I don't know where it is, but it's gone. Like, I'd probably put it someplace safe. I'll never find it because we know I operate like that. So, he's got that lovely drawer thing out in the shop. He's got it apart and he coated the insides of the drawers for me. And I think that it's really cool that now I get to paint it if that's what I'm going to do to it. See, I've got lots of that kind of stuff too that I need to finish that Ron has brought me in to complete and I haven't because I go down so many rabbit holes. You need to find your fabric. Oh, I have an entire room of fabric. I need to get my sewing machines fixed. But then that's just going to create more projects. You know how that works. Whoop. Whoa. Sorry, guys. Make everybody seasick. Swing the camera. Okay. So let's Addition some buttons. Now, I know that we said maybe a button on here, but we also said buttons on these. So I separated some orange buttons. What do you think? Or should I go multicolored? I'll go solo. Hang on.
Yeah.
That doesn't help much. I wonder what I could put it on to lift it up. Wait a minute. I probably have a hunk of wood that he brought me to put under something. Not wood, but I've got envelopes. We'll slide envelopes under it. A package of envelopes. And then I will hold it closer to the camera. Okay, so do I stick with the orange? I really like the punch of the orange. Or, I mean, I want to put this yellow one here. I don't know what I want to put on it. I might just do some strange stitching over it, like a sunburst kind of thing. But do you think I use orange buttons or what color buttons?
Well, asking me whether you should use orange or another color.
I know.
I like the orange. I like the way it looks.
So do I. I'm thinking those are going to end up being orange.
You know, I'll probably get blamed for that too.
You will not. But I also think I need a bit more black in here somehow. Maybe a big black on this one. Ooh.
Yes, I like that. Sherry asks, are you going to be putting it in a frame or a shadow box?
No, I've got it so that I'm going to put a rod on it. Put it over a rod.
You know what? You need to turn that the correct direction it's going to hang for us to make.
Okay, this is the way it's going to hang.
Because, you know, it could change the perspective.
Yeah, that's the way it's going to hang.
It still looks good.
So yeah, this is going to get sewn down so that I can put a rod in there, and this too will get sewn up, and I might put a weight in there, like a weight rod at the bottom. Whoa, spill the tea. Let's not. And then of course on the sides I will be probably folding it to that white line and stitching it. A hand stitch, maybe a buttonhole or some sort of embroidery to hold it in place. And then these ones, because they're just soap, I'm sure they'll just rub off.
Yeah.
Easy enough. And I still want to think of something to do maybe in that. You know, I kind of like the green, these circles, just the way they are. And this, do you think I should offset it that little bit?
Yes.
Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I am going to take this, and we're going to see if I can, because it's got the hole in the center, so I have to cover that up.
Oh, I hope they didn't smash your tomatoes, Anne.
Oh, who's smashing tomatoes? Oh. Anne got her groceries. That's what we're talking about. Okay. Oh, see? It's okay. I'll still be able to stitch that down the way it needs to go if this button's on top. Green bag is canned tomato soup. Oh, you know what? Some of these people who pack groceries these days don't have a hot clue. Just don't have a hot clue whatsoever. They really do not. And it's really annoying. Oh, an idea. Okay, so we're going to stitch this down here first. Yeah. See, I don't have groceries delivered. So if we have problem with bagging, I can blame myself or Ron. Oh, look, my buttons. So I'm using black thread on this one. I don't know what color thread I'll use with the orange ones. We'll figure that out. I'll put those down next. Because now I'm starting to do the build-ups. Starting to do the build-ups. The one thing with stitching these plastic things down is I have a lot of trouble finding where the holes are. And then you unthread the needle, and you went back into a hole that you had. Did you what? What are you doing here? You have no clue what you are doing. Do as I say, don't do as I do, guys. What the Sam David Henry? Ugh. Yeah. See, we've got where you can order your food and then go and pick it up. My daughter does that quite often, and she does that because she figures she's on a budget, and this way she's not going to buy junk. And it's a good idea, really, because I know every time we go grocery shopping, there's always that one thing you go, oh, I haven't had that for a while. All right, Malia, big hugs to you. And I hope they had a wonderful time at their school dance. Take care, hon. See you soon.
Bye, Malia. Thanks for coming.
All right. All right. So I'm basically just going to get this button thing stitched down. And again, if I want to add some beads to it, so I've got depth and texture, I will come back and do that with a smaller needle. You know. Good grief.
Yeah, I'm not sure I should be doodling today either. I keep screwing
Oh,
up.
hey, I'm sorry, I'm bogarting the screen here. There we go. What do you mean you're screwing up?
Well, I just keep slipping into a spot where I didn't want to line, and I'm having to fix it like right here. I slipped
Okay.
out, so then I put fat everywhere else so that it looks like it's
Flows,
supposed to
yeah.
be that way.
Yeah, I was doing that yesterday. It's like, what are you thinking? Oh, wait, you're not.
I feel like that. My brain feels dead today.
That's how I was on Tuesdays. Totally brain dead. Rough night. It's amazing how a decent night's sleep will help you get through the day.
I'm thinking we got something coming in because the sinus pressure I feel is just terrible.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
I will
Oh,
live.
Mart roulette. Ice cream cereal. Oh, that's right. They sent it to the wrong order or whatever. They totally goofed that up, and I remember that. I remember that. See, I don't get groceries from Walmart. I I order yarn and stuff online and have it delivered, but I've never really grocery shopped at Walmart. Welcome back, Belinda.
Well, I told my husband today because I he usually shops at Albertsons, but once in a while he'll go to Walmart. When he goes to Walmart, he gets me this different coffee that he can't get at Albertsons. And I told him today I really loved him, but I need that coffee. So hopefully that, I might have to cook a meal or two extra.
Yeah. Okay, so let's use the green thread to put these buttons down. The orange buttons will have green thread. Pick up. Yes. Oh, Walmart's the only store you've got? Okay. Right, right. Well, we're between two cities, but the two little towns between those cities have grocery stores, like co-op grocery stores in them. So I can get um I use my co-op number, my grocery, and it works really good. Works good. You know what? You need to move these. Look, I'm making more stacks on the floor beside me.
Isn't that where you're supposed to make stacks?
Well,
Stacks?
every other place in this area is full. So, like, all around me is stacked. If I put anything else on, it's all going to end up in my lap. I know it. I know it.
Well, Albertsons is higher in meat than Walmart, but we don't care much for Walmart meat. So we
Oh, yeah.
buy our meat by the sale ad. So depending upon what's on sale, we'll decide what we'll be having.
Yeah. We go to a couple of butcher shops instead of getting our meat through the groceries because, it just you get decent meat that way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been cut fresh, right? Because it's not in all the cellophane, like the styrofoam and cellophane packaging.
Mm-hmm. When we lived in Kansas, that's where we bought all of our meat at the local packing plant. It was just as cheap, if not cheaper, sometimes.
Yeah. Well, we've got some lovely butcher shops. They make their own sausages. It's great. It is great.
I think we have a couple of meat markets here, but I'm not sure.
One of the meat places that we shop at, they're They do these things called pork shots. I'd never seen them before. So what it is it's a piece of kubasau, which is like a garlic sausage, right? They have a slice. They wrap bacon around it, and they fill it full of cream cheese with chopped up jalapenos in it, and so it's and then they bake it, and they are so good. But oh my word, I heart attack on a plate, right? But they're so good, just can't resist. I have a weakness for things with dips. I'm always looking for healthier dips because I love dips. I don't
Yeah.
know, you know. Lots of vegan options. Cool. Roasts, nice. Nice, nice. See, I get my roasts from the butcher shop.
My kids do the Target pickup most of the time. It could be because that's where my son works and, job security.
Yeah, just easier too.
Hmm.
Yeah, job security is a big one right now, for sure. For sure.
I keep hoping that we'll open a Target here and he'll transfer to be the manager of it. But I don't see that coming.
Yeah.
I would just like to be able to shop around here and not have to order online for everything. Like, you know, clothing.
Yes.
I can't I could probably find something that would fit me if I go to the men's department at Walmart, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I've made fruit dip with yogurt. I use yogurt instead of sour cream in the majority of my dips. I'll be honest. Shh, don't tell Ron. Um, but yeah, no, I'll definitely use that instead of. But I mean, I'll make my own salsas and that kind of thing too, so that I don't have the amount of salt the store bought ones have. But
I
yeah,
used I used to can salsa all the time.
me too. But it's got so much stinking salt in it, so I make it and freeze it now. But I run out really fast because I like it. It's a dip. The other fruit dip I really like, and I know it's not healthy in any way, shape, or form, is you take a container of uh, pre-made chocolate icing. I know I should make this at home, but I do not. So you've got the container of the homemade chocolate icing, and then you add raspberry jam until you like the taste of it. It's a wonderful dip. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I like
Oh,
what. What you did?
oh, I'm so excited.
What you did? What you get?
This is Evelyn Reeser Kaiser and Monty Stambaugh were named the 2025 Great Bend Senior Center King and Queen.
That's
That's my
awesome.
daddy.
That's awesome. He's the king. That's a lovely picture, Jean.
Yes. That just makes me smile.
It should. So now, here's the thing. If you stitch it down on this plastic stuff, you can't remove it because it leaves a big, horking, ugly hole. So even if I don't like it, I have to say I do. Everybody says congrats to your dad.
Thank you.
That's very cool.
Yeah. That's his only outing every day.
You know what? It's still good though, because he's getting out every day,
Yep.
right? Like,
Especially because he's starting to show some signs of dementia.
yeah.
I mean, he's got the old man don't remember stuff already. I mean, he had that at 50.
I don't know if it's an old man thing or just selective hearing or whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But no, it's good because, having worked in this nursing home, so many men have no hobbies. They don't know what to do with themselves. They've worked all their lives. They don't know how to relax. They don't want to do a jigsaw puzzle. They don't want to do, you know, and having something to look forward to like that and go out, that is fabulous.
Yeah, I agree.
That is
I
absolutely
know my sisters sometimes gets tired of him being there and having to take care of him and everything, but because she's always saying, "Well, why don't you let Pops come stay with you for a month or two?" And I'm like, he is more than welcome.
yeah,
And I would drive him to the senior center every day for lunch. Might
yeah,
even eat with him now that I'm a senior.
yeah,
But you know, he knows people at the senior center. Occasionally he'll get the minibus to go to the American Legion or something like that. But
yeah,
yeah, he's I don't want to take what he's got away from him. That's
yeah.
his only connection to his
Oh,
past.
Mr. Stir Crazy's Arts and Crafts, you have a lot of hobbies. That is fantastic. Nice to meet you. Welcome to my channel. Um, that's really good. Sorry for interrupting you, but we're just talking about the selective hearing stuff, and all of a sudden we have a gentleman amongst us. Sorry. My dad had selective hearing, and the really funny thing was he would have the radio on full blast, the TV on full blast, usually at the same time. Um, he couldn't hear you on the phone or anything, but my friend's 2-year-old daughter went up and whispered to him, and he heard her clearly. So this is why I don't know. Is it selective hearing? Right. So anyway, welcome here, and I'm glad you've got lots of hobbies and stuff because I think that is so important. Okay, now that I've totally interrupted you and derailed you, do you remember what you were saying, sweetheart?
No,
I'm sorry.
and that's okay. That's okay. I do hope that my husband will pull up some of his hobbies too, because his retirement's coming up, and yeah, scares me to death. I'm thinking we might kill each other.
Well, the ones I feel worst for is because if they don't have hobbies and all they did was work, they sit in front of the tube all day and it's so not good. So not good. So, Mr. Stir Crazy, what kind of arts and crafts do you do? Carving, chainsaw carving, woodworking, leatherworking, knitting? Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, extreme multi. Extreme multi. All right. So, I'll hold this up again. I don't know how much more I want to add. Like, I want to add beads and I want to add some more stitching. Oh, hold it the right way around. Sorry, I'm going to go do this again. I really like the orange buttons. I like the orange beads. What were we
Hi,
going to...
Steph.
Bye, Steph. Take care, hon. Miniature houses, woodwork, all types of music. Fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. I love miniatures too. I've always wanted to do one of those book shelf things. What are they called? You know what I'm talking about, anyways. Yeah. No, I never did a dollhouse. Train stuff. Did a lot of train stuff. Yeah, I really like the orange. It punched it. Okay, Joni, take care, hon. Thanks for coming.
Hi, Joni. Thanks for coming.
Oh, did you post a picture of the tree? Is it on your page? Is it on your IG? I'm so nosy. Okay, so Book Nooks, that's it. Okay, pictures on Facebook. Okay, perfect. I'll go look. So I still need to stitch these down. I'm procrastinating about what I want to do with these. I probably should have just hot pressed them on, but I did not. Jean, was I going to put something in this? Do you remember?
I don't.
You know what? Maybe I'll just do some black stitch lines across.
Mm-hmm.
I know. And I might be close to calling this one done. I think I need something there, though. Some embroidery there. And then this will have hanging beads. And these would have beads on them as well. I'll come back and pull beads through. Close. I'm close. Very close.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. 2.5 hours. Wow. I'm thinking that I'm about done for the day.
No, I am.
You are? Yeah.
My eyes are saying, what?
Yeah. Okay. I'm. That's a lovely little one. Is it a 4x6?
I think so.
You have lots of
Glorious.
miniatures on your YouTube channel? I need to go look your YouTube channel up. Give me a sec. I want to do that before we head out and I can post it. Hang on. Mr. Stir Crazy's Arts and Crafts. Oh. Okay. There we go. Oh my word. Oh my word. Welcome, Tom. Oh. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right.
You're going to keep this to yourself or what?
You bet. Hang on. I'm getting it. I'm in awe. I am in awe. This is Tom. Tom is Mr. Stir Crazy, and his stuff is. I'm drooling. There's the link, guys. Yes, you all need to go and check it out. Seriously. Wow, That steampunk airship. Oh, yeah. That's awesome. My husband is currently out in the shop making a marble run. So I like fun things. Do you stream, Tom? Do you go live at all or anything? Book nooks would be a fun thing for feral artists. I'll have to make a stick and add it to the. Not yet. Okay, okay. It's just awesome, though.
Oh, yeah. Susan needs to see this.
Susan definitely needs to see that. It's awesome. Very cool. Very cool, Tom. Well, thank you for popping in and checking me out. I do various odd things. That's nothing as elaborate as that. Oh, you're welcome. You are welcome. All right. So it's been 2.5 hours. I am going to call it a day. Thank you, Jean, for coming and playing. Jean
I
and I,
remember next Friday's at my channel.
yes, next Friday. I was about to say, yes, next Friday it's Jean and Kim. Creative, whatever I called this. What did I call this? I can't even remember. Adventures. So we're on Jean's channel next Friday. Saturday. No. Sunday, the Feral Artist Group is getting together and we are doing collage. Any other news? Nothing else? All right.
No.
Thanks, guys. Everybody who's here in chat, everybody who has participated, everybody who added numbers for Jean's giveaway. Thanks to everybody in the. Isn't that phenomenal work? Yeah. Thanks, everyone up in the balcony. I appreciate each and every one of you guys here and upstairs, and anybody who watches the replay. Great big hugs. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Valentine's Day. And I'll see you Sunday, 11 o'clock Central, Feral Artists Group. Bye now.
Bye, everyone. Have a great weekend.
That too. Bye.